If Marmite happened to become a person, it would probably morph itself into Emilia Clarke. Now, that may sound like a weird setup to yet another one of my lame jokes, but do hear me out. You see, when it comes to split opinion on someone's acting ability, Sarah Connor herself really tops the list. In saying that, however, I'm sure fans of both Star Wars and Game of Thrones wouldn't mind seeing Daenerys of the House Targaryen, the first of her name, the Unburnt, Queen of the Andals, the Rhonar and the First Men, Queen of Meereen, Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, Protector of the Realm, Lady Regent of the Seven Kingdoms, Breaker of Chains, and Mother of Dragons. That was quite a mouthful. In a certain galaxy far, far away. Anyway, if that was the case, then you'll all be glad to hear of Emilia Clarke's involvement with the upcoming anthology movie Solo: A Star Wars Story. But what exactly does her role entail? And what might her character do to affect the plot? Well, let's find out. Qi'ra, the character portrayed by Emilia Clarke in Solo: A Star Wars Story, is said to hail from the core world of Corellia, and as a result she has grown up alongside Han Solo himself. So much so, by the age of 18, she became involved in organised crime as part of a gang. Unfortunately, that's pretty much all we know so far, at least according to the official teasers and trailers released thus far. But if we take a closer look at the interviews regarding Emilia and her character, then we can begin to paint a more detailed picture.
I am never going to take a job that doesn't tell that story, because I think it's a very important narrative that we're telling, all ages and all stages. And whilst it is Han Solo's movie, the girl gets to be badass and strong and has her own journey. Qi'ra's journey is definitely one of survival and strength. The way that I feel about her was, yeah, this girl's got a core of steel. It has been really fun to put Qi'ra in an environment of power and wealth. She has a couple of guises, but essentially she is just fighting to stay alive.
Aside from discussing aspects of her very own character, however, Clarke has revealed more about the relationship between Qi'ra and Han Solo.
Well, Qi'ra and Han grew up as comrades essentially. They grew up as pals, as partners in crime. There's obviously the romantic side of things, but they grew up together, so they were kids together. And the beautiful thing about this Han Solo story is it's highlighting all of the most brilliant aspects of Han Solo the character, and characterising those aspects and characters that he meets on his journey to becoming who he is. There is a thing throughout the relationship you just can't put your finger on, and that's Qi'ra. Every time you think you've got her number, you realise you haven't at all, which is really hard to play. The goal is that the shadow of Qi'ra is there in Han as a character that we know. This girl is another texture that makes up who he is when we first meet him. The point where you meet her, she is with Han. They are both doing what they've got to do to survive, and that's Qi'ra the whole movie. The whole way through, she is surviving, and surviving in the underworld that we know to be filled with smuggling, aloof gamblers, wrong side of the tracks nasty ones. It was beautiful. They touched on it very briefly in The Last Jedi when they were at the racetracks.
Whether or not Qi'ra survives the events of Solo: A Star Wars Story, well, it seems as if we'll just have to wait until Memorial Day to find out.
She is a little bit of a tough one to get hold of, really. There's an underlying joy in an origin story because you know where they end up, and Qi'ra is nowhere to be seen. So something has happened. You know what I mean?
Interestingly, the name Qi'ra, at least spelled K-I-R-A, dates back to an early outline for George Lucas's sequel trilogy. It was also attributed to the character that eventually became Rey throughout the development of Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens. So there's a little fun fact that I'm sure no one will really care for. In short, Qi'ra is one of Han Solo's closest allies and friends growing up, making her equally as morally bankrupt and prone to criminal activity. But that's not to rule out the fact she's a highly mysterious character whose loyalties are somewhat hard to define. So I guess we'll just have to wait to find out how exactly she and Han depart one another's company. Personally, I'm going more tragedy over betrayal. I can imagine a couple of characters kicking the bucket just as Rogue One did back in 2016. But what do you think? Are you excited to see Qi'ra and Solo: A Star Wars Story? Do let me know in the comments below. If you learned something new from today's video, be sure to leave a like. To help out the channel that little bit extra, please do consider pledging to our Patreon page, and for weekly behind the scenes content and all things Han Solo, press that subscribe button and notification bell to keep it locked here to the Kangrazans.